Thank you for joining us on the Hedrick Lake Trail in northern BC, Canada. Located in the heart of grizzly bear country, hikers must be prepared for the many dangers encountered in this area, but also the vast beauty it has to offer. From sweeping waterfalls to secret caves, this valley provides many opportunities for backcountry enthusiasts. Fresh water, essential to human life, and yet so deadly and unpredictable in the wild of northern BC. Liquid, solid, every form it takes provides its own set of challenges, as well as the beauty they have to offer. Join Tesla Prince on this remote, unique adventure into the backcountry of Hedrick Lake.
Welcome back to the channel. Today's hike, we are heading into Hedrick Lake. This is just off the Gleason Forest Service Road, which is just at the very north end of the Pass Lake Forest Service Road, which many people in the area know where that is. Anyways, heading into the Gleason, you'll see here on the screen, this is how you get access to more details for this hike. But driving in, there was an area that was flooded. The Gleason Creek is kind of flooding over the road because the culvert that goes under the road is blocked, and so the water's just billowing over. So just take note of that. You may not be able to get in. If that water just keeps washing out the road, eventually it'll be impossible to pass. But we did get to the trailhead. That was really the only issue there, other than that washout area. Potholes, typical potholes you'll see on a logging road, so you have to go slow. But with an SUV, we got to the trailhead, and you're going to see some pretty cool things that we saw on trail. So once we got to the trailhead, we headed in, and this was just an afternoon hike up to the lake and back. Is about 24 kilometers, 23 and a half kilometers return. And one interesting thing to note is the water crossings. Normally in the later evening, you expect the water levels to go down, but this particular day we did notice that water levels went up, especially at one particular crossing, and it made for sketchy decisions to make it back. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, heading up Hedrick Lake Trail. We're parked here on the road as far as we could go safely. Crossed over a few wet holes on the Gleason Forest Service Road, but doable with SUV.
Rather large. Let's stay there. Well,
he's big. Hedrick Lake, Yeti country? Question mark. Right, close to the Edge Park. Up in those mountains. Originally up on Gleason area. Huh. We got fur. Could that be Yeti? That is the question. Close to the edge, right on that cliff face to the left there. The cave should be right there somewhere. And this is where we turn. First big hill. Ooh. Huh. The wise one is back. A whole lot more fur. We are hot on his trail.
Shedding good.
Shedding good. All right, we're at the ribbons. This is where the quad trail keeps going, but we turn up to Hedrick. Some kind of views. More fresh bear doo-doo. Although that's smaller. Different bear from the other one. Big trees.
We really opened this place up to everybody.
Big down tree.
Have to go around the other end if you want.
Thank you, Gerald and Darren. All right, creek crossing coming up here. And there's a log across, right on the trail. Lots of moose prints in here. And a big ribboned tree. I think the falls are straight through there. I can see them through the trees. So shortly after that big ribbon tree, that's kind of straight down to Twin Falls, but the trail to Twin Falls is right here, which is also the trail to close to the edge. CTTE, close to the edge park, goes that way. Check out the creek as we have to cross it. some logs right there. That's good. I don't like how it feels. I gotta think this one through. My chances on these ones much better.
Take note of the water level in relation to these logs. In a few hours, the water will be lapping over the top log, making for an interesting return across this unpredictable water crossing. Even though the time of day was late in the evening.
Alright, that's where the official trail goes across. Don't like this log. Right up there, there's 2 logs. Easier going. Let's see the next creek crossing, what it's like. That's a bigger bear now. Lots of bear prints in this mud. Big cedar leaning over the trail. So we head towards Hedrick Lake. I think we got a little small creek to cross here. Got a little bit of snow in that creek. The tree says 6 kilometers in old spray paint.
You'll be able to see up the mountain.
Yeah, right up there. Really pretty mountains through the trees there. Back side of close to the Edge Park. Cliffs and sharp down. Next creek crossing. I like these better. I think this is the one. Here we go.
That wasn't horrible.
Nope. Starting to get some nice views. Yeah, after 6 kilometers, it's rougher. Still a trail, but more deadfall, more brush. Trail's a little harder to find here and there, but it's still there. Mr. Bear, small one. On the trail.
It's probably a gate some kind of trail.
Well, it's a chaotic trees, but look like most of them are cut. Another creek crossing. This one's pretty straightforward. That's a big cedar. Oh, it's way up. Oh, well, somebody lost their flip-flop.
So right
Looks like the bear was chewing on it. Grab it on the way out. Deadfall. Somebody cut out a big step. Or a seat. Or whatever you want to call this on the tree. And take it. Both sides. Nice view of the mountains. Pretty sure that's Hedrick right up there. You just need to go around the north face of it. More bear. Of course. Keep looking for ribbons. Eventually you'll find them if you get off trail. And for cutouts in the trees. That's kind of the giveaway. So grateful to everyone who put in the work to clear parts of this trail. Along the way, it does get tiring here near the end. Beautiful. Starting to get into those views. Gorgeous. There's Hedrick Creek. Gushing down from the lake. Oh yeah. Boulders here on the left. You see Hedrick Creek down there on the right. Just a gushing. Be interesting, there's a giant rock pile in this gully. I don't know if there's a creek here or what. But we'll see. Trails here. A little bit of snow on the trail. And of course, this gorgeous little waterfall right there. Beautiful. Little goat turns. In the snow. Pins, ribbons, more deadfall. Alright, we're gonna try to climb this hill even though the trail goes in the gully because there's no snow here. So we can get to the lake. Can you say blowdown? So we've been walking up here, but see the trail marker right there in the gully. So we've just been walking parallel to the trail on high ground. It'll go straight through the snow there. Mostly on top, but a few times I poked up to my knee and waist and got a soaker. There's the lake. We're gonna get there today. I can see it. Yeah, she's starting to fall apart. (1944). Albert, it was France. Well, if you ever wanted to see what the Hedrick cabin looks like, there she be. Alright, we're out of here. Go find Gerald down at the lake. There's another cabin over there. Looks a little worse off. Beauty spot. one last look at the lake here, because we don't have lots of time. We did this for an afternoon hike, Hedrick Lake. Sun's trying to poke through the clouds, but there she be. Beautiful. A little shed over there with some jerry cans and chairs and whatnot. Got to get permission to use the cabin. What do you say, Gerald? Time to go?
I think we did it.
Backtracking on our prints. Tesla prints. There we go. Back at this creek crossing. You see our Tesla prints right there. Right this moment on, there's, for the most part, a trail. It's better and worse as you go on, but say our goodbyes to the mountains up there as we make our way out. Get Gerald to throw that in my pack. Some kind of a bag and a string tied to it. A bag of chicken with a string tied to it. I have no idea what's going on. Somebody's glasses. Whose glasses could these be? Big clump. It's a little bit higher now. Yikes.
Tesla Prince decided to try the lower log since it was not covered in water. Unfortunately, the knobs on the log prevented him from continuing down the log and he had to abort. With the extra weight of the pack, balance was much more tricky, so he decided to try the original logs that he crossed on the way into the lake.
Do it! Bring it wet! Yeah. You got it. Yeah, you're good. Just slow. There you go.
It looks sketchier than what?
I agree.
Oh, it's still cold.
Let's go get our poles. Let's get through across over here. Couple hours back to the vehicle. We'll be good. The trapper's box. Huh. We got a toad there. Master toad. Knock it out into some kind of sunlight. Alright, pop out of the trail onto the quad trail, and it's just a short way to the vehicle now. Alright, one more turn on the quad trail to the right, and we're home free very shortly. I think it's a bear. Yeah, it's looking at us. Mr. Bear. We're coming that way. There he goes. Off into the bush. All right. We're in the sort of upper parking area. The vehicle's maybe 2 minutes down the road here. So we are pretty well wrapped up on our Hedrick Lake journey. All right, home stretch. I'm looking at the vehicle. 15 seconds away. And that'll be a wrap for this afternoon hike up to Hedrick and back. Seeing this fox or coyote or whatever. Well, the Tesla's here to pick me up.
Thank you for joining us on this adventure into Hedrick Lake. We hope you enjoyed the content, and we'll see you in the next video.